So in today's video we are going to be recapping the 2041-42 European journey for us as well as other teams in the Norwegian league, as well as having a look to see how the 2042 season has started, and obviously looking at our winter transfers and the youth intake. So let's get into the video, start recapping our group stage of the Champions League.
This is just an intro, you better believe it. Jesus, that was bad. Well, welcome to the series.
So welcome into the video. If you are new here, make sure you do go down, subscribe so you do not miss any of the videos going forward as we continue this Build a Nation, and go and check out other content on the channel. So, we started off against Atlanta in the Champions League group stage and got a 3-2 victory. Kroll, Kyle and Adebayo on the score sheet in that game. We did get a red card to Fossum in the 58th minute, so it was quite nice that two of our goals did come after that time. Now, if you ever want an understanding of how our season goes in terms of some of the goals we concede, this one against Atlanta is a prime example. So, goalkeeper has it, passes it out, nobody gets it, they turn around and score the goal. Now, that game was followed up against a second Italian team, and we got absolutely smashed by Milan, 3-0 in the San Siro. Disappointing. Followed up with the second away game, this time in Germany against Bayer Leverkusen, which we lost 4-2. Red card in the 16th minute, though, completely killed the game off. Getting a red card so early, yes, it was the second defeat, but I can almost accept that defeat due to how early we went down to 10 men. Now, luckily, we did bounce back in the next game against Antwerp. Adebayo, Anthony and Maida on the score sheet as we won this game 3-0. We then played another Italian team, because that's apparently all we are playing, and we lost 4-2 at home to Inter with another early red card. I don't know what is going on at the minute, but we are picking up a lot of red cards. That was followed up with a 3-1 defeat at home, Anthony scoring for us against Real Madrid. We're in trouble. We needed to go into the period of games after the winter window and pick up victories quickly. So before we went into them fixtures, we did make some transfers. So you can see these are the signings we brought in over the winter. So the first person is to add a bit more depth in central defence, which I did say I want to do. Kjell Arve Veen Uldal comes in from Stabæk, and I'm really pleased with him. Not good passing, but in general, very, very talented, very good central defender. Norwegian as well, and just adds that depth. Means when we are rotating, we're rotating with some very good quality players coming in. The next player picked up, I've sent straight out on loan to Junkerin. He is a Colombian central defender who looks really good. Again, one who can't pass, but it just seems in the 2040s there's no defenders who can pass, or not many of them. So we are bringing in some players who maybe not the best on the ball, but in terms of defenders are very solid. Junkerin now in the top flight of Norwegian football. It was a guaranteed success to be able to bring him in and get him first team football in the top flight straight away. And after that, I did mention we brought in 3 Romanian players in a previous episode. So let's have a look through them all. First off, Vlad Terzi, central midfielder, cost us 400k. He's already in and around the first team, and I just think he has a lot of potential. He has a lot of potential, and he's only 16 and he cost us 400k. The next one for 1.6 million from Rapid Bucharest is Eduard Pechu. He is a attacking midfielder stroke striker. He again has a lot of potential. I think he's 17 now. He was 16 when we agreed the deal. Another player, I think, just a few years, just see how he develops. And then finally for 1.4 million is Razvan Morar. Again, 16 years old, doesn't turn 17 till halfway through this season. I just think these players developing in our youth team with our players could turn into decent signings. So them 3 Romanians are mainly for the future. In terms of the outs who came up on this screen, there's only 2. Mellin's gone out for free to NAC, and then Guerra on loan to Junkerin. And then we moved to the 2042, and we've made no more ins, but we have got rid of some outs. So first off, the young goalkeeper we picked up from Colin, I've sent on loan to Junkerin. We've sold Anguolo to Ajax. I did admit this was a panic buy. we have took a loss. We've took about a 1 million loss, but we do have a 50% in next sale on him. So he's gone off to Ajax, see how he does. Kieta's gone to Junkeren on loan, see if he can develop a bit. We sold Simonsen to Viking Stavanger. As soon as a Norwegian club came in, I just let him go. He has that big match con, which a couple of other players have picked up now, which is a bit frustrating. But letting him go. Sam H has gone on loan. Sogndal getting first team football in the top flight of Norway. So again, hopefully he can continue to develop. And then finally, Alev has gone to Inter. I couldn't do anything about it. They came in for me, had no interest in negotiating with us when they came in. So he has gone. And I do want to quickly point out that a Wonderkid, who is labelled as a Wonderkid now at Inter on loan at Portsmouth, Wonderkid media description, came through our academy and we lost him to Inter Milan on a free. He is now labelled as a Wonderkid, valued at up to 60 million. I actually remember seeing him and thinking he was lacking quite a few mentals, so I just didn't keep him on. Now looked in, 1 cap for Norway, 1 goal, and yeah, we made a mistake. But this does show that them mistakes just happen sometimes. You let players go who you think won't develop, and they just turn into world-class players. So our last 2 games in the Champions League group stage anyway, back to that, we had our 2 easiest games. So first off, we picked up a 2-2 draw away to Dynamo Zagreb. Krall and Anthony, with Krall also missing a penalty, so we could have got the win there. But a win in the final game would secure us qualification to the knockout round. And we got it comfortably in Poland, beating Lech Poznan 3-0 with Krall, Kyle and Anthony on the score sheet. And that would see us get drawn against Benfica in the playoffs. And the game was almost done after the first leg. A 4-1 victory. Anthony, Fosdal, Adebayo and Bozic. A 4-1 victory on the opening game just almost guarantees you're going to go through, as long as you don't get trounced in the second leg. One thing I do want to mention. So, you can see he's unhappy. Unhappy being stripped of the captaincy. So it came up with that screen of select your captain for the year. I just clicked confirm because I wanted the same captains. I wanted Fosdal to be my captain until he retires, etc. But Football Manager being Football Manager, that had selected somebody different. So straight away, Murder became the captain and Fosdal got peeved off that he was dropped. But we continued to battle on. I will say in the next game we got a red card, 2 yellows. But we did go through 4-3 on aggregate. They won the second leg 2-0. With a former Egerson player in Thomas Bergvold getting 2 of the goals for Benfica. But this victory would see us in the round of 16 against Bayern Munich. And in the first leg, we looked solid. A 2-0 victory. Both goals late on. Anthony and Krall on the score sheet. We had to go to Germany and just be tight, be solid, be focused. And that's what we did. We went to Germany and we lost the game 1-0, but that saw us go through 2-1 to the quarter-finals where we would face Barcelona. So in the first leg against Barcelona, Christian the Finn, a former Egerson player, Lopez and Nero for Barcelona, as we got a goal with Anthony, 3-1. Could we go back to Norway and get a result? A 2-0 victory would see us through. 3-0 victory would be amazing. What can we do? We got the win, but we didn't go through. A quarter-final exit after a 3-2 victory at home to Barcelona with Fosdal, Krall and Kyle on the score sheet. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. We beat them on the day, but we went out in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. But we've got to hold our hands up. A quarter-final of the Champions League, we've got to be proud of that. It shows that we are moving in the right direction. So we're going to work our way through the other teams in Norway, see how they did in European competitions. So the first one we come up against, I've just scrolled through the clubs in the league, so it's not in any particular order. Viking Stavanger, they were in the Europa Conference League, and it looks decent. This must be the qualifying round. Second qualifying path. Can I auto-size all of these? Yeah, there we go. So, Hapoel Shiva, they beat 3-0, then a draw at home, before going up against Pogon in the third qualifying round where they won 3-0 and 3-0. Before in the fourth qualifying round, they came against PSV of Holland, won 1-0 at home before losing away from home. So Viking didn't even make it into the group stage of the Conference League. I thought it looked good when I first turned it on. You know, when you first open a screen, you see lots of greens. You're like, yes. Then I realised they weren't in the group stage. Just now, when we start talking. Yeah, this is not looking good. So in the Europa League for Molde, they came up against Basel and lost home and away 2-3 and 1-2. That put them into the Conference League qualifying where they played Domzale first, scored 1-0 victory before draw away from home. But then they came up against German powerhouse Stuttgart in the final qualifying round. A 1-1 draw before a 2-0 defeat. That's 2 teams so far not making it to the group stage of European competition. So we move on to Odds, who started in Champions League qualifying. So they came up against Red Star from Serbia and got 1-0 victory away from home before a 2-1 victory at home. That saw them come up against Porto in the playoff round, where they lost 3-2 home and away. But that saw them go into the Europa League group stage. They started with a 2-0 victory over Shannon from Iceland before losing to Juventus and Olympiacos, beaten St. Patrick before losing to AEK and Leo. After Christmas, they came up against TSC and got a victory before losing to Villarreal. That saw them into the playoff round where they beat Celtic 2-0 and drew away in Scotland. But unfortunately, the round of 16, they came up against Feyenoord and lost 3-0, then 1-0. But a round of 16 in the Europa League, that's useful. So we move on to Stabæk, and they played in the Europa League, and they got drawn against Sporting in playoff qualifying, but they did win. A 1-1 draw away before beating them 2-1 at home. Unfortunately, it looks like in the group stage, they didn't do so well. We'll see after Christmas how it went, but defeats of Villarreal, Ludogorets, Wolves and Braga saw them with 0 points after 4 games. They did then beat Sparta and Slava Prague. And then after Christmas, lost to Nice before beating AEK, but it just wasn't enough. And unfortunately, that's as far as they went, the Europa League group stage. So with them disappointing results in Europe, let's have a look how we've done. So the league remains in 10th. We remain the 25th best team in Europe. Now it's time for the coefficients, and we've dropped down to 10th place. We going into this season have 44.1 points. We are just ahead of Greece, and Sweden actually start ahead of us, and we start 2 points behind Denmark and Turkey. It's very tough. We could end up dropping another place if we don't get success in Europe this year. We need the other teams in Europe to step up. We need other Norwegian teams to step up this year in Europe. Please, please, please. So how have we done so far this year in the league? Well, we've played 9, won 8, drew 1, lost none. We're looking very solid now. If we look at the league table here, you can see it's just really successful. We are a very good football side now, with only 1 draw now as away to Bode Glimt. Tactically, we're starting to get things looking very good. We have this Sivertsen playing more as that wide centre-back. We are rotating people around in multiple positions in the back line. We've promoted some players like Uldal now is in and around the first team. And we're looking solid. I guess one of the players to mention is Leif Tvede Arnesen, who came through the intake last year and has pushed his way in as a rotation option early on. We've needed more depth in that back line, and he's came in and done a decent job. 6 appearances, a 7.06 average after 6 games in the top flight, aged only 17. Got to be impressed with that, and he's only just turned 17. So all of them games were played when he was 16. So can't help but praise him. And the final thing we're going to look at is the intake. There's not many, but there's a couple to look at. So Erik Jakobsen is a winger, stroke attacking mid. I'm thinking we train him in, just see if we can develop him there. And we have a central midfielder here in Erlend Sørdal. Again, another player who doesn't look amazing, but after that, Wonderkid popping up, who we end up losing for free. I'm giving everybody a chance. We got left back here in Leif Jostein Lebeck, who is decent. But apart from that, there's nobody amazing. This kid looks alright in Jacob Johansson, see how he develops. And according to the stats, this is our best good player. And he does look solid with tackling, good passing, decent mentals and physicals. I'm going to be interested how he develops. Wheatley doesn't have a face, so I need to fix that. Some of them had faces, some of them didn't. So we need to improve that a bit as well. But yeah, we've started well. We have a few injury issues. We have been trying to rotate to stop that, but injuries have been hitting us hard. But like Crawl has 7 and 7 so far, is labelled as a Wonderkid now, and we are moving in the right direction. Join me in the next video where we will recap the season and the summer transfers, and hopefully it's going to go well.